Welcome everyone. Today the NICCP brings you College Planning Case Study. And speaking with us today we have Ron Them and Rick Darvis. Ron Them is considered an expert in college funding and is one of the original founders of the NICCP in 2001. He is also a registered financial consultant and registered investment advisor in the state of Ohio. Rick Darvis, CPA, CCPS, is a practicing accountant with over 2,500 clients. He is also a co-founder of the NICCP. And with that, I'll hand it over to Rick and Ron.
Okay, thank you, Ryan. Yeah, today, this is Ron Them, and today, oops, bear with me again a second. Got hit. Over appeals, award letter appeals, and today also on our call I have Andrew Dandry, who is an advisor in Louisiana, who just went through an appeal for a client or two. So I'm going to go over the appeals checklist first, and then I'm going to have Rick go over a Dartmouth award letter and the income assets of the client, to set up the whole 9 yards, and then I'm going to go through what I did for a client that wanted to go to Emory, and then I'm going to have Andrew Dandry go over his recent award letter and appeals letter that he wrote to Loyola College. So first, though, let me begin here. It's April, and starting around the end of March and through and until May 1, if you're in the college funding business, this is appeal award letter time. And in most cases, you're going to appeal award letters for clients regardless of whether they got good award letters or not. You'll run into a case once in a while where a client says, oh, I don't want to, I'm happy with the award letter. But in a lot of cases, these colleges are stuffing a ton of plus loans onto these awards, and it just takes, all you got to do is ask. Sometimes you can get an extra $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, so it's worth it. But you must have a solid reason for appealing the award. Okay. However, that being said, virtually everybody can find a reason in today's economy to appeal something that they don't like, or that they're spending too much on, or a reason to appeal. You can find a reason to appeal, and it's worthwhile doing it because it really, really impresses the client when they find out the colleges come back for more. That is the essence of getting referrals. It really is. And I built my practice on this back in the early 90s. There's a tremendous relationship building process that goes through college funding, and the summation of it and the finalization of it is getting more money for the client than even on their award letter, and negotiating, although you don't want to ever use that word. And one of the opportunities that I used to use to market to clients would be to send out, the only time I ever sent out postcards, and I sent it out to the parents of, okay, the big American student list, send it out to everybody, and their grandmother kind of shotgun approach to marketing. The only time I ever did any of that was around March 15th, looking for the opportunity to just do appeal letters and for award letters. So consequently, the letter would go out to the parents of, if you get an award letter for your child attending college, I can help you get more. Please call me at, boom. And it got a ton of clients for me. Now you got to remember, most of the financial aid process and everything is done. So what I did was charge them $175. Now this is, again, back in the beginning of 90, it was like 95, 96 areas, so 97 in those years. But $175 was more than adequate for me to write an appeal or walk them through an appeals process with 2 or 3 standard letters. It's easy, okay? And the basis of doing any appeal is, why can't you afford that college? Or what makes it difficult to afford that college? And write a list. And once you write that list down, that's basically your appeal letter. It's just that simple. Why can't you afford it? Well, I got this, or I go, oh, perfect. That's the basis of the award letters. And we'll show you that in a little bit. Okay, but I want to run through the steps here first, because these are important. And it's always nice to have a checklist just to make sure you cover all the angles. So number one, to successfully appeal an award letter, number one, you have to determine how much the college was short of meeting 100% of the financial need. And again, this is pretty obvious today, because in most award letters you see a ton of loans. And I mean, they're stuffing loans, but they're putting it on there, making it look like they fill out 100% of the need. But you know, and they're always complaining about, oh, students are going too much in debt, and oh my gosh, you know, and yet they're pulling out these award letters with, you know, $20,000, $30,000 worth of plus loans and student loans for the first year, okay? And it's absurd. And they should just leave them off, but they're not. And it's a great marketing vehicle to use those award letters the following year, now that you're going to be starting to go after juniors in high school now. The seniors are pretty much out of the picture here, May 1. It's a perfect time to go after the juniors, and if you're doing seminars or webinars, show them these award letters. It shows not only what you can do for them and show them the appeals, but use that as part of your presentation process, because not only do they see that you can actually work things out for them, but the power of all those loans and the potential of going into debt is a really powerful crisis motivator, okay? Number two, you need to determine what the real cost of the college is, because a lot of the colleges leave a lot of their true cost off the award letter, and this is, I see this all the time. And then you need to decide, you know, group all the award letters and see which college is offering the better letter. We'll go over this in a bit with Emory, but you know, you want to find out which one's offering the best deal, because that's you're going to fax that or take that or send that to the college that you're trying to get more money from, and say, what did you miss? Number three, you need to determine if there are special circumstances. And again, what is a special circumstance? A reason why you can't, you know, you need more money, okay? Why it's too costly. And some of those special circumstances are death, recent divorce, separation. I mean, I've gotten several. I used to use divorce lawyers to send me, to refer clients to me, and I use this on all my appeals. A disability or injury, unemployment, sickness, medical, handicap expenses, okay? These are all expenses that don't show up on the profile or FAFSA. Tuition for private schools, natural disasters, recently dislocated worker, usually high child care expenses, unreimbursed expenses, okay? A one-time bonus that will affect income dramatically, which could dramatically affect the EFC. Loans reported as income, special loans, unusually high income or unusually low expenses. Anything you can use to convince the financial aid administrator that you have a circumstance by which you want them to reconsider, and that's all it is. Step number 5, make sure you use the admissions office, a coach, or other college officials to assist you in the appeal. If you've done your college visitation and you've talked to these people, which you should, and if you don't, that's a big mistake. But because a college visit is mandatory in my eyes, the admissions officers, the people that you have talked with, in some cases can help you assist in the appeal. Number 6, always appeal in person if possible. The physical presence in front of a financial aid officer, it can be intimidating for them. They're not used to it, okay? And it's a really powerful scenario. It's one thing going in and talking with them during the college visit, and you know, and going back and forth about what the college has to offer and all the good, positive things. But coming in and talking with them, you know, about wanting more money, now you're putting them into a spot, and the best way to do this is so they can't avoid you, and that's in person, and they give you a straight-out answer. That's not as easy to do. These are not financial people. This is not your banker that you're talking to that says, no, you're not getting a loan, period. Here's why. Most of the financial aid people really aren't, you know, financial people. And so, you know, it puts them on the spot, and a lot of times that in-person touch, and Rick's going to talk about that with the Dartmouth Award we're going to show you here in a bit, that personal touch just goes a long, long way to getting more money. Number 7, if you can't appeal in person, naturally the cost of travel is too expensive or something, make the appeal by telephone. In person is better, but voice is better than sending a letter. And if you have to send a letter, that's step number 3. Number 9, always send adequate documentation. Okay, you always got to back up your special circumstances. They're not just going to take your word. So regardless of what it is, they want to see it. And Rick will talk about this with the Dartmouth Award, and retirement was a big issue for his client, and they took their retirement documents with. He showed them what's up, what's happening. Number 10, never use the words negotiate or match in an appeal. He said, I like to, if you have a matching award letter, you don't use I want you to match this award letter. You simply use the words appeal. I'd like to appeal to your better interest. This college gave me $10,000, $15,000 more. Is there something you missed, or I don't quite understand, and put it in their ballpark, so to speak, to answer that question. But don't use the words negotiate or match. And number 11, when you're making an appeal, don't make it, you know, sound as if, you know, somebody else wrote the appeal letter, or it wrote your notes, or wrote, okay? You never do that. Make sure that the client understands every one of the bullet points on that award letter, that they could, you know, they have a reason, they've documented it, they have documents, and they know what they're talking about before they go and talk with anybody, either in person, on the phone, or by letter. Don't make it look too professional. Don't talk too much about EFC and you know, words that a professional would know, but a parent wouldn't. Okay, now, how do you increase the chances of a successful appeal? Well, number 1, make sure the student is attractive as possible to the college. You got to match the colleges with the students. And also, raising the ACT, SAT scores helps a lot, and developing an attractive admissions application, okay, or a resume is what I call it. But it's key to making this student look as positive as possible. Look at the student, the parents, the family should always make college admissions look like you're applying for a job, okay? You wouldn't show up to a job interview, you wouldn't do a job interview on a telephone. You do it in person. and you'd state out all the details, and you try to make yourself look as attractive as possible. This is exactly what colleges are looking for. College admissions officers are social networking marketers. That's what they do. And they're trying to build an attractive global type of a student body, and you want to make yourself look as attractive as possible, both to the admissions and on paper for the financial aid people. Select 6 to 8 colleges, 6 to 9 colleges in order to create competition for the student. And it says here, select a low-cost in-state colleges. I always say 2 to 3 reaches, 2 or 3 for sures, and 2 or 3 maybes. Okay, and so that's 9 schools. That's what I always did for my clients, either 6 to 9 schools. And when you're doing it, the colleges that you're strategically trying to get into, you want to make sure you got a college in there that's in the same athletic conferences. You're trying to position the student to make them competitive, and that's very competitive. Athletics are very competitive between conferences or within the conference. Select a similar college in a different region of the country. Cultural diversity. This is where Rick's going to show his award letter from a student in North Dakota that went to Dartmouth. I believe it was North Dakota or Montana, but going to New Hampshire. Okay, that's cultural diversity. Select a similar college that is known to give good awards. Some schools, like say Ivy League, Columbia, and Cornell, give some pretty good award. They don't, and Penn does too. They're let me see. I think it's Columbia and Penn and Cornell. They have much above 10% admissions ratio. In other words, the number of kids that they admit versus the number of applications that they get. And so they're way above in Harvard and Yale, and some of them are 6, and Princeton 7%. So you know, you always, if you're going to apply to an Ivy League school, apply to Columbia or Cornell or Penn. You may not even want to go there, but you're more likely to get money from there, which you can use to negotiate appeal with the other Ivy Leagues. Select a similar college select a similar college where the student is going to be in the top 25% of the freshman incoming classes. Okay, and then select colleges that have empty seats to fill. Now, how do you know there's an empty seat? Well, again, this is what visitation does. Okay, when you're talking to the professors and you're talking with people, whether you're interviewing on the phone or you're showing desirable interest, okay, which is a big deal nowadays in admissions, especially in the elite schools, showing that you have an interest, and there's a special way of doing that. But you know, if you talk with the professors, you're going to find out the areas that you want to go into. If it's journalism or this or that, you're going to find out if they have seats to fill, or if it's a very popular class and it's overfilled. These are things you need to find out before you even make a final application to the school. An appeal can be based on the following college's interest. Okay, rewarding a good student who is in the upper 25% of the class. Okay, you're profiling here. Okay, basically, if the student receives a good award letter from a competing college, you know, match. I'm putting match in there for all of you, but you're appealing to that college's better interest. Is there something that they missed? Okay, A college with declining enrollments may be much more willing to negotiate with a student because of their desire to fill those empty seats. And again, this is not just the college; it's certain departments. Okay, colleges may have scholarships for wealthy families to attract good students. And again, this is enrollment management. They would rather give 4 wealthy families $5,000, okay, to get them to come to their school than they would give a $20,000 scholarship to somebody that is lower income and needs the money. Okay, they'd rather get more bang for their buck. They'd rather have 4 kids in that can pay the final tuition bill than have one in there that couldn't go to that school without the $20,000 and may have trouble even making it with that. Okay, and again, that a lot has to do with potential future benefactors and kids that give to the school if they come from wealthier families. The college may have special scholarships for minority students, and if you are a minority, you do apply, ask about those kinds of scholarships. There may be special scholarships for alumni or legacy. Okay, these are all negotiating points. Okay, they're for admissions and financial aid. These are heavy negotiating points. And also, cultural diversity. Make sure the student applies to schools outside of their region. I mean, it's even if you don't want to go there, even if you don't plan to go there, those schools will want you. They'll give you money to attract you, and then you can use that to appeal or match, get a matching award letter from a school that you really want to go to. So these are powerful points that you need to consider when you're going through an appeal and appealing an award letter. Now let's take a look at, Rick, do you want to, I'll go through these, but you want to explain the Dartmouth, the setup here, what the background and everything, income, assets, what was going on with this client, and then we'll show them the before and after here.
Okay, well, basic situation was we had a guy from Montana here. His daughter, he actually did some pre-planning. He applied to some of the schools, like Ron said. He applied to the University of Montana, which is our in-state public. He applied to some of the other competing colleges. So he did a little, setting up, I guess, before he went into, I guess, negotiate with the financial aid office, except don't use that word. But he actually did things the right way. He got some competing colleges, okay, University of Montana, in-state public. He got some other schools out in the Northeast that competed against Dartmouth for the same type of student. So he'd done a little pre-work already. And then he went out there. He actually flew out there.
And here's the original award letter, right?
Right, yeah. And this is basically just based on the information listed on his FAFSA profile. And as you can see, he had a Dartmouth General Scholarship of $39.05 and then some work study. So that was the original offer, okay. Then he went out there, and they were looking at colleges, and there were some other elite privates that he got awards from. Some of them were, a lot better than Dartmouth. He had another, I can't remember what one it was very elite private school in the Northeast. They gave him $26,000 in scholarship money, so he had some, better offers in hand. Again, one of the things that points that Ron pointed out, he had some other, a lot better offers from competing colleges. And he went out and visited Dartmouth, and he, as he put it, he said we had a nice 30-minute chat with the financial aid director. We hit it off pretty well. We liked him, and he liked us, I think. And the result was what you see on your screen here. The Dartmouth General Scholarship went from $3,000 up to around $33,000. So that was about $30,000 a year more in scholarship, or tuition discount, because that's probably what it was, the tuition discount.
Yeah.
And that's what they said that they would give this child, or approximately that much, every year for the next 4 years. So that appeal, okay, that he did in person, okay, resulted in another $30,000 a year in free money for their child times 4 years, or $120,000.
Yep.
So, and again, I think the key thing is that he did some pre-work. He applied to some competing colleges. He went out there in person. He had his, appeal things in line, but he lacked in his retirement, and things were a little tough in his business, some things like this. So he actually did things the right way, and and he did have a good student, which always helps. He had a piece of gold, that these colleges wanted. He was from out of the region, so cultural diversity played into, it also. So I guess the stars were in alignment for him, and here's the result.
If you don't try, though, you certainly won't get it, right?
Right. You gotta, like Las Vegas, you don't put a quarter in the machine, you have no chance of winning.
That's right.
But he actually did a lot of pre-work, which he was well rewarded for.
Well, that's why you apply, like we said, 6 to 8 colleges, 6 to 9, 10 colleges. Okay, thanks, Rick. Here's one of my clients, Columbia University, and Josh was from Miami, okay? And when we started out, we got $33,000 from Columbia, okay, Ivy League school. So he also applied to Emory. So he had this one in his pocket. This is one he had in his pocket. And he applied to Emory, okay, and April 5th, okay, 2009, gets this award letter, and it said $9,000, okay, and they stuck him with family share of expenses. At least they didn't have the audacity to put a plus loan here like most of them. They just put family share of expenses of $36,000 and $9,000 in Emory grant, okay. So all we did was write. All I did was write a letter. I didn't have them go to Columbia or anything. We just wrote a letter and said, hey, that's a huge discrepancy here. $33,000 versus $9,000. That is a huge discrepancy. Did we miss something? Okay. Is there something in the numbers that was missed that we didn't know about? And that's all it took. And they came back on the 27th of April with another award letter for $19,000. So he increased his money by $10,000, or over a 4-year period, $40,000, and that's worth something. Okay. Now we also have Andrew. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Why don't you explain a little bit about this particular client? Just generally, I got the names off of it and everything, the income, assets, the general background of this particular client, would you?
All right.
And we'll walk through it.
All right. This client just came to one of my workshops, and they come up after and was really excited about the potential, and they didn't even think they could go to a private school to start with. They were just looking at some state schools, and again, we got started in the process, and there were, a nice fee for this client. We got into this, and she makes about, I guess the worst pay so could be her and her husband around the $80,000 mark. But he had lost his job, had been on unemployment, and the BP oil spill affected them personally. And he's hurt also, and he's up there in age. So they're right in that income where it doesn't look like you get anything, $70,000, $80,000 a year. The kid, when we first started, was maybe a C plus B student, but he has improved since then. So that's kind of where the background is on this couple. And she was panicking, so we went. She didn't think she could afford this. We went to several others. We went to Spring Hill also, in Sanford, I think it was, and through the process of coaching them, she just quit. She didn't want to fill out the forms, but now she wishes she has, because we would have something at least to compare it to.
Yes.
And right now we're in the process of it. But anyway,
right.
She went to the open house. She really liked Loyola, and they knew it, and we got this award back of $22,000, but she got $11,000.
Okay, hang on a second. Here's the cost: $44,362.
Pretty much.
That's a big number.
Huge number.
And here's the award letter that they gave them initially. Okay. So they got a one-time credit of $1,000 for just going to a campus visit,
Right.
pay you back for the visit, and
Right.
a recognition award, which is a merit award for $11,000. And they got a $30,000 Louisiana State scholarship. But other than that, it's all loans. And
$7,000 in loans and work study.
Right. So, anyways, here's the I took the names off and everything, but here's the letter that Andrew worked up, and just to give you an idea, and Rick and I thought this was done very professionally, so we thought we'd bring Andrew here and show you what he did. But why don't you go ahead and explain each one of these paragraphs here, Andrew, and explain.
Well, before I do that, let me back up just for a second, though, because I'm telling you, what you're preaching is true. And I took the stuff off, some of the stuff you said that we really had a chance off, that you have listed in the doctrine programs, like this is stuff you really can use, professional judgment on.
Right.
So we just broke it down like that and said, okay, because she came to me, she said, now you said I could get money and you could do this, so she really put me on the spot. So I said, okay, let's do this medicine and see if it works. You follow me? So we got in there and we just kind of broke it down and explained pretty much in detail how the financial picture really didn't affect her really situation, what's going on. And that's how we've come up with this letter, just by paragraph, trying to explain to them what's going on. And she pretty much at this point was feeling really nervous and just wants to send it to them. You follow me? And she works for an attorney, so she wanted to just have her courier send it over there, which I thought, courier, what's the first thing a financial aid would think? There's a person needing money and they can afford a courier?
Right.
Right off the bat. And then we played every sympathy thing we could in this here, and you hit it, nailed it on the head. Is these guys, they sent her a response, Ron, while you guys were on there, because she specifically asked for an appointment, which was her first goal, I told her, make sure you get the appointment. And they said, the actual words was, we would be happy to arrange a campus visit to you. You can arrange a campus visit, blah, 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 blah. It's telling you right there, those guys are nervous. They don't want to meet you in person because they can't say no.
Right.
I think in this part of it, I think she's got a really good case.
Yes.
So we just convinced her that, okay, she's going to go down there and hand deliver this, and she's pretty good at this,
Yep. She works for a lawyer. She should be.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. So that's kind of where we at. She's freaking out because, she's short like $11,450, and Rick gave me some good advice on the letter that you see we're going to take out because she asked for a specific amount. And what if we could maybe get more than that? We kind of limited ourselves.
That's the only thing. That's the only thing that I looked at and I thought, wow, that's
we heard of.
I don't know if I'd have done that or not, but yeah. So here what we have here is she's saying, well, number one, we got a bonus of $15,000 on top of the 85, so that knocks it down to 70, and that's not going to happen in 2011.
Correct.
Then we got the BP oil spill, and Dad's 56 years old, okay, with a lot of medical problems, okay. So it's caused some issues. We got medical issues, and his unemployment's going to run out, okay. Now, Evan turned 18, so she no longer gets this kind of money from her ex-husband, okay. That's a big deal, all right. Now they're looking at private school tuition here.
Should I have been subtracting all that from that total on a paragraph? So we went from 80, then you subtract the 15, and then you take out the 69, because remember, that's all in that income.
Yep, it sure is.
Did we add another paragraph for she hands delivered? Like, here's our true financial
Yeah. Well, they can figure this out, but you got to lay it out for them like you're doing here.
Okay.
Okay. And lay the thing out like this, and here's what this is. Okay. And this is very well done. Now here, I don't know if I would have done that or not. Okay, I'd leave it open a little bit.
We took the amount out.
Yeah. Okay. Because literally, Andrew, if I mean, I think you can get more than $5,000 out of these people. I really do.
But we took your advice.
If they don't, see if they don't, then this college probably isn't going to be in the picture.
Right.
That's. So, but this is a very well-written letter, very well written letter, and the ending here and everything, it's you know, it's as good as it gets, okay? But she does need to go talk with them.
Oh, yeah, definitely. They tried to blow her off, and that's exactly, because she just came back from a campus visit this weekend, and they love it. You follow me? Now they're trying to do it again.
Yes.
One other question about this, though. I've been holding from pulling the trigger on this. We've been waiting because, you know, you have to make this decision by May 1st.
Yep.
And the theory was, you can correct me if I'm wrong or not, was based on Loyola, there's probably a lot of people going into what Rick was talking about, enrollment yield, that probably got accepted but are not going to go to Loyola, and we're hoping that this may free up cash. Will this work in Alley Badge, or we should have submitted this?
Well, look, you know, what is the down payment on May 1st dues? 300, 200?
Yeah.
Okay. In a lot of cases, I've had my clients just waste it, okay, and make the payment to both, to other schools they want to go to, too. If this school doesn't come through, then put it, you know, give it to another one that has less financial or more financial aid. But I would, you know, I again, you know, the 15th is tomorrow. I would adamantly call their financial aid office and make an appointment before May 1st to talk with them.
Yeah, so we don't. Okay.
Yeah. So.
But I mean, is it? Do you find you get better results if you wait almost to the deadline to do this? What, they don't have?
No. Don't push it. It may be. You got 15 days or so, 16. Okay, 17 days.
So we're right on target.
You know, somebody may get busy. Something may happen. They have to postpone. Nah.
Okay.
Do it ASAP.
All right.
It may end up working out to being April 29th. Okay, but don't do that. No, just do it whenever you can get it, because they need time to move, and your family needs time to be able to figure out what they want to do too.
Okay.
You know, get this done ASAP.
I tell you what, I mean, really thank you for that circumstance, that special circumstance list. I'm telling you, that's golden, man.
Yeah, it is.
People don't think about it, but it's the truth.
Well, it's just a checklist, right?
Okay. Thanks.
Well, thank you, Andrew.
All right.
Okay, Ryan, we're done. So if there's any questions or anything, we'll be glad to take them. Or Ryan?
Okay. Yep. We do have one question right off the bat.
All right.
I'll read it off for you here. First question is from Nanette. She asks, is there still time to email or mail my list of parents re-helping with their award letter?
Read that again.
Is there still time to email or mail my list of parents helping with their award letter?
Yeah. Well, you got 15 days. That's probably cutting her pretty close. Really, that letter or email should be sent out like a month ago, March 15th. It's cutting her pretty close now, because there's only 2 weeks left before May 1st, and that is the deadline. Okay. Any other questions?
Not at the moment. We'll give you guys another minute here to think of any questions you may have. Also, if you wish to view this recording again, you may go to niccp.com/recordings.asp, and you can view this recording as many times as you wish, and other recordings we have in the archives there. Does not look like we have any questions popping up.
All right.
Is there anything you guys wanted to add before we end this presentation?
We're done.
Okay. I want to thank Rick and Ron and for everybody for joining us today. And we actually do have one question that just popped up.
All right.
Is it possible to get copies of the displays for, I'm guessing, for her own viewing?
Of not the award letters. The list, the appeals list, you mean?
I'm not too sure. Nanette, you're going to have to be more specific on that, please. We do have a question from Doug. Doug, are you there?
This Doug.
You're on, Doug.
Can we get a copy of that list?
Yes, that's in the college doctor program.
Okay, thanks.
But I'll forward it to you, Doug, because I know
appreciate
you're
it.
in it. So, yep.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for the question, Doug. And that looks like that's all we have then. So with that, we will end this presentation, and we'll hear from you guys next time.
Thank you.